Welcome back to Rich Words Music, where today we're looking at this. It's the NUX 6ixty5ive Overdrive pedal. Now, I came across this pedal purely by chance at the 2023 NAMM show. I went to visit the NUX booth to check out what was new, and there was no pompous fanfare about this pedal whatsoever. It was just there, sitting unassumingly on a couple of pedal boards with other pedals from NUX that I happened to already know, and it really caught my eye because it's got this vintage sort of a look to it. It's got these cupcake knobs that really remind me of a few transparent overdrive pedals, and most specifically the Vemuram Jan Ray. So I asked the guys at NUX about the 6ixty5ive, and they told me, yep, this is based on 60s Fender black panel amplifiers, and it's also inspired by the Vemuram Jan Ray. And for those of you in the know, the Jan Ray is heavily inspired by the legendary Paul Cochrane Timmy transparent overdrive pedal. This is the Mac Daddy, the father of all transparent overdrives, at least in my world. So if the NUX 6ixty5ive can get anywhere close to that, it's going to be a fantastic pedal indeed. This also being a NUX pedal, it's going to be very affordable too. Now, I asked the guys at NUX for the prices, and they said this is going to be a street price of $49, so about 50 euros, 50 bucks, 50 pounds, whatever. That is extremely affordable. So are we looking at the new affordable king of transparent overdrives? That's what we're going to try and find out in this video. First, I'll tell you about the specs and the features of the pedal, then we'll play it in as many different musical styles and sounds as we possibly can. And at the end, I'll give you a few more detailed opinions about my thoughts on the pedal and whether or not I think it's going to be worth your money at the end of the day. So stick around for that part too. First, those specifications and features then. So it's a very simple pedal. You've just got 4 controls. We've got this old school brown, sparkly sort of a look to it, and these 4 really nice cream or ivory coloured cupcake knobs. Now we've got a level control, a gain control, a bass control, and a treble control, as you might expect from this kind of a pedal. And up on the top here, we've got a saturation trimmer control, which you need to use something like a mini screwdriver to change, and we will be tweaking that during the playing part of the demo. Now you can power it via 9-volt power supply or via a battery. So that is the 6ixty5ive Overdrive pedal in terms of what you've got on the box itself. And what we're going to do now is play it. Now I'll be using my Fender Telecaster for single coil tones today. Note that I do have a neck humbucker on that guitar, but it'll be in coil split mode the entire time. I'll also be using my Epiphone Les Paul Traditional Pro for humbucking sounds, so we've got a really good mix of tones. And a pedal like this, a pedal in the vein of the Paul Cochrane Timmy, should give us amazing pushed clean tones. It should give us great edge of breakup and light drive sounds. It should give us amazing pushed classic rock and indie rock tones too, and maybe it can even do a bit more than that. So what we're going to do is check it out in as many different genres as possible. I'll even put it down to drop D at the end and see if it can do any kind of chugging with the Les Paul. Don't have high hopes for that, but you never know. After we've done with the different riffs, I'll do a couple of different loops where we really tweak the knobs and the trimmer control as well. We'll do one with the humbuckers. We might do a couple with the humbuckers actually to really tweak that trimmer control. We'll also do one with my Telecaster where I put it up just to compare it against the Timmy so we can hear how similar and in fact how different it sounds. My rig for today is going to be my Hughes & Kettner Black Spirit 200 amp head. We'll be on the amps clean channel for the vast majority of the demo, but I will flick it up at the end to the crunch channel so we can hear how the 6ixty5ive sounds going into an overdriven amplifier. We'll be going from the amp's red box straight into my Focusrite Scarlett audio interface straight into my Mac, and that's going to be it in terms of sounds. Enough talk then. It's the NUX 6ixty5ive Overdrive pedal. Let's play it now, and we'll speak in a bit more detail about it afterwards. Okay then, so that was the NUX 6ixty5ive overdrive pedal, and I hope you enjoyed the playing and the tones. And I'm going to come out straight off the bat here and say that I absolutely love this pedal. NUX sent it to me after the NAMM show, and as soon as I got it out of the box and plugged it in, I was really in some sort of tonal nirvana. Now, if you know my channel, you will know that I love my transparent overdrives, I love my Timmy, I love my Greer Lightspeed as well, so this kind of drive pedal is right up my street, and the NUX delivered in that way immediately, so I really love the tones from this pedal. And just from the loops, the one where we compared the 6ixty5ive and the Timmy, you can indeed hear that this pedal is very close in terms of tones, and with a bit of judicious tweaking you can get them to sound pretty much dead on. So that is what this pedal is doing. I don't personally own the Vemuram Jan Ray that this pedal is based on, but I can assume that it's going to be very similar indeed. So what do I like about this pedal then? Well, pretty much everything. I love the tones, I love the push clean sounds, I love the edge of breakup sounds. That's what a Timmy type pedal is absolutely fantastic for, but the 6ixty5ive can actually do a lot more than that. I think a lot of people tend to use pedals like the Timmy or like the Lightspeed or the Jan Ray for one specific kind of sound. That's to push an amp which is on the edge of breakup into breakup, and they are exceptional for that. They are the best in the business for doing that kind of thing. But if you tweak the knobs a bit, you can get them to do a whole lot more. And as we pushed up the gain control and went into indie rock and classic rock sort of modes, we got some really nice tones too. Now this is obviously going to be a slightly thinner sounding pedal for classic rock overdrives than a more Marshall pedal type of an overdrive, but it really does the job, and I really liked the sounds that we were getting. As we started to push up to more heavier overdrives and we did the punk rock and the alt rock and that kind of stuff, I thought that the Telecaster was kind of on the edge of its comfort zone. You'd want to boost it in some way to get maximum results from this pedal, but with the Les Paul and with those hot Epiphone humbuckers, it really works for those too. And when we tuned the guitars down to drop D, the Epiphone was surprisingly not too bad. I'm not ever going to say that I would play metal or anything approaching metal purely with this pedal, but it does get you into that sort of territory. And using the crunch channel on the amp and using the 6ixty5ive as a boost, well, it absolutely sounds fantastic for heavier stuff, and it's nice and tight too. So a fantastic pedal in terms of sounds. I really like the 6ixty5ive, as I thought I would, really. So in that sense, no surprises there, but a fantastic pedal in terms of tones. One other thing that we need to speak about when it comes to the sounds is, of course, the trim pot up here, the saturation trimmer. To my ears, and I'm guessing to your ears too, it doesn't really sound like a saturation trimmer to me. I thought if I turned it all the way down, there would be a lot less gain on tap, and when I turned it all the way up, there would be a lot more. But to me, it sounded like it gives you more of a tonal shift. It goes from a warmer, thicker, fuzzier, woollier sort of a sound through to a really bright, glassy and cutting sound, which is actually great. It's actually really practical to be able to go between those sounds. Now, as standard from the factory, it ships that when the pedal is like this, when it's just lying down, you'll have the cross in a kind of vertical horizontal format. So that's how you always know to go back to the neutral position. So I think the saturation trimmer is more of a tone trimmer for me. It's really cool, but I personally have found that my favorite settings are to have it left in the neutral position and leave it at that. But if you've got a really dark guitar, or in fact a really overly bright one, and want to tame it slightly, you can really use the trimmer to good effect there. And here's where I want to get a bit of your feedback and thoughts and comments. Do any of you own the Jan Ray? How similar is the trim pot there? Does that really give you difference in saturation and gain, or is it also more of a tone trimmer? If you know, comments down there please, and I look forward to hearing your experiences. So in terms of tones, we love this pedal, but what about the other things that it's got going for it? Well, pretty much everything. Of course, in terms of the price, at under 50 bucks, this is an absolute no-brainer, and I would really recommend for that price, if you're interested in getting into the transparent overdrive game, or just finding out a bit more about this pedal or NUX, this is a fantastic place to start. This pedal's going straight on my board, by the way. I really like it. So price-wise, fantastic. In terms of the build quality, it feels pretty good too. It's a nice solid little metal box. The knobs feel good. They turn really smoothly. It's a nice solid switch. So it really feels like it's not going to break soon, which is also a plus point, especially if you're putting it on a pedal board. I also like the fact that you can either power it via a power supply, or you can stick a battery in. You don't often see that with modern day pedals, so that's just kind of a little cool thing if you always like to use batteries. So those are some of the things that I like about the pedal. Is there anything that I don't like? Well, not really. Now, if I'm really pushed to find something that I don't quite like about it, I guess if you look at it in the wrong light, you might think that this sparkly brown color is a bit, well, you know, brown in that sort of a sense. But for me, it looks kind of vintage, it looks old school, and the brown actually goes really well with the ivory or off-white knobs. So overall, it's kind of a cohesive aesthetic look. You might like it, you might not. When it comes to the saturation trimmer, I do really like it, but I tend to leave it in neutral. And I do think that it's not really controlling that much in terms of the amount of actual gain that the pedal is giving you. So if you're looking to be able to turn this up and get loads more saturation and overdrive, you might be disappointed there, but that's not what this pedal is about. And finally, there is of course that old debate that we've mentioned many times on this channel about clones. Is this a clone? Is it a copy? I don't know. Would appreciate your thoughts down there if you'd like to speak about it. We'll get a bit of a discussion going. For my thoughts, to my mind, I sort of feel like the Timmy is the original when it comes to this kind of pedal, and everything that comes after it is an homage. So if you've been watching this video up to this point and you're kind of wondering, well, I like this idea, but what else is out there? Well, thankfully, there's a lot, and I mean a lot, of transparent drives out there. So check out what's at your local music store and find the one that works best for you. But here's a couple of recommendations also based on pedals that I happen to own. For a similar price point, you can get the Kaleen Pure Sky, which is a fantastic pedal. You can pretty much only buy these new on Amazon, I think, so check out Amazon for those. I might throw a link into the description of the video. This is a fantastic little pedal, and I believe is also based on the Vemuram Jan Ray, so these two should be fairly similar. The Kaleen is a great pedal. Now, if you want to get a Timmy into your life, then the real, original and the best transparent overdrive pedal, many would say, is the original Paul Cochrane Timmy. These are very hard to come by, and second-hand prices are very, very silly, but if you can find one, you absolutely should. Now, my other personal favorite pedal in this kind of transparent genre is the Greer Lightspeed, which I've used in pretty much all of my videos on this channel to date. It's a fantastic pedal, and I really love it. Now, if you want the Paul Cochrane official design thing, there is also the Paul Cochrane co-designed MXR Timmy pedal, which is a great option too, and sounds just like a Timmy. So there's videos on all of those pedals elsewhere on my channel. There's a bunch of other transparent overdrive pedal shootouts there as well. If you'd like to hear me shoot the NUX 6ixty5ive out against any of those pedals, let me know in the comments and we'll see what we can do over the next few weeks. In conclusion then, I have to say that I really, really do love the 6ixty5ive. I think it's a fantastic overdrive pedal, and I would not hesitate in recommending anyone to go out and try one and then buy it. For under 50 euros or 50 bucks, this is fantastic value for money, but it feels great quality too, and it sounds fantastic. If you're looking to add a new flavor of transparent overdrive or slightly different drives to your setup, or if you want to get into the transparent game, this is a perfect place to jump into it at this sort of a price point. Or if you're simply looking to get a different flavor of drive onto your pedal board and to change things up, this is a fantastic place to start. So go down to your local NUX dealer, check it out, and you never know, this might be the next pedal for you. One thing I can certainly say is that it's got me very excited, and it's going straight on my board, and I can't ever really personally ask for more than that in a pedal. So I hope that this video has answered all of the questions that you might have had about the 6ixty5ive, but let me know if there's anything else you'd like to know, and I shall answer it to the best of my ability down in the comments. And if you're still here, would make my day if you fancied liking the video or even subbing to the channel, because that really helps. But that's been it for today's video then. I've been Rich for Rich Words Music, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye for now.